Hi, Chris. This is the second in a series of interviews we are doing with some of our internal colleagues at Centerfirst. And I'm so excited that you've joined the organization. It seems like just a couple of months ago, and you've already made a really significant impact on our organization and the work we are doing with clients. And so today, I thought we would talk a little bit about your background and why you decided to come to Centerfirst, and then what you're seeing as our Centerfirst's EQM solution and how it is supported now with CallMiner, which we branded as Discover, and then a little bit about some of the value that you're seeing we're generating for clients with the EQM solution. So let's just start maybe with a look at your background.
All right. Yeah. So I've been in the IT industry for 20 plus years, and primarily all of that was working in the contact center technologies. We started back when we were building a contact center. We were adding new capabilities to that contact center, updating some of the systems and infrastructure associated with that. And over the past couple of decades, have been working primarily in that industry and with that type of data associated with it. And then just past, I don't know, 4 or 5 years or so, started breaking into some of the analytics, automations, and most recently AI. So that's kind of taken me to where I am today, kind of that path of the contact center itself and some of the growth involved with it. So everything from computer telephony integration from the terms way back when, going through IVRs and then quality monitoring, and then leading into some AI and data analytics.
That's super. Yeah, we're so excited to have you join our leadership team. You've made such a significant impact in giving us an expertise in this area. Tell us, if you wouldn't mind, just why you decided after a really successful career to join Centerfirst.
Yeah. Well, part of having LinkedIn as a profile, you get email from LinkedIn. Just they're trying to match your profile to some of the other jobs that are available in the industry. And for years and years, I received those and just occasionally jumped in there just to keep track of what was happening in the market. But when I came across the posting from Centerfirst, it was a little bit different in the fact that I felt that it was describing me, and it was compelling. And my background in the contact center industries, with everything that's related to that I just referred to earlier, it basically impressed me to and submit an application. And in each of my interviews and conversations with the leadership team, I just felt more aligned with the people, the values of the company, the mission, the vision, and more so than where I had been for the past 20 plus years. So I wasn't looking for a job, I wasn't sending out resumes and et cetera, but I actually had to refresh my resume in order to apply. But it's almost as though Centerfirst found me, and I thought it was a great match. So.
Wow, that's awesome. Thanks for sharing that story. That's really super. And like I say, we're glad to be here. Glad that you're here. Let's turn a little bit more now to what you've seen in working with us for 60 or so days. As you know, there are several organizations that are offering SaaS solutions, software as a service, sometimes with a quality monitoring component, other times different uses of AI. How do you see the way that Centerfirst has decided to use AI in support of our EQ, our enhanced quality monitoring service, as a real differentiator and perhaps a benefit to our clients?
Oh yeah, that's actually a really big question because Centerfirst definitely has the staffed expertise and the forward-looking approach to quality monitoring in the healthcare space right now, specifically pharma. And I think some of the SaaS solutions, some of the larger organizations, they lack that niche approach to improving the patient experience. So any solution that's kind of an off-the-shelf solution or a SaaS type of solution is going to be missing the 10 plus years of experience that our staff provides in the industry. So partnering that expertise alongside an AI tool like Discover it's going to only enhance the value that the insights that the Centerfirst staff is going to provide.
Mm-hmm.
AI can conduct the initial analytics of all of the calls, which is really going to be the benefit in that as well. Mm-hmm. But in the long run, more calls are analyzed and more patients are going to be more positively impacted in this. So Discover will create some clarity, in the fog, I guess, of the thousands of call recordings that are out there to analyze, and that's going to be overwhelming to a human. But I think Centerfirst expertise alongside the AI, it's going to determine the direction for the specialists to be able to provide more actionable insights.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. You've been here just a short time. I would be interested in hearing what you see as some of the ground that Centerfirst really needs to make up in order to I guess extract the maximum amount of value out of combining our human expertise with Discover, based on the Call Miner platform. Is there something that you see, wow, here's an area where we need to make sure we keep our eye on so that we're going to be continue to add more value for our clients?
Yeah, when I think of the value that's outlined there, that again we're addressing through AI, it's mostly being able to analyze a larger portion of the calls and to be able to provide the big picture of, or maybe the whole picture of what is in those recordings, and able to provide the expertise to guide the agents, providing them with valuable feedback, specific feedback, that is going to drive, improving the patient experience. So, things like empathy and compliance, just capturing the overall customer experience within the recording.
Mm-hmm.
Some of the value that comes out of that, obviously, for our clients is going to be related to the improved accuracy and some of those specific feedback and insights that can be coached onto those agents or coached to those agents. There's also the economics that comes along with it too, because when considering more call volume or an agent growth, staffing up of those agents, 3 times the growth doesn't equal 3 times the cost for the call monitoring in this case. Yeah. So there's a lot of value in being able to say that to the client, and yeah. I think that plays a part of it as well. Did I answer the question?
I think you did. When I think about it, we as an organization, we need to continue to move from a almost fully human solution to one that is an AI supported solution, but carry forward the expertise that we have. And so we need to continue to move that, advance that forward. So we're taking the human approach and adding the AI, as opposed to starting with AI and then try to add in the expertise of the humans. So here's our last question, Chris, and thank you. This has been really informative. We have a long history in serving the pharmaceutical industries, and we segment the contact centers to 4, medical information, patient support, access and reimbursement, and inside sales. And we've got deep expertise in all 4 of those. We're being pulled into a broader healthcare market and bringing our EQM service to a broader healthcare client base. From your experience, and I know you don't have healthcare experience, but from your 2 decades of experience in serving internal clients, and now that you're helping us support external clients, what do you feel as some of the things that clients are really looking for in an EQM solution that's supported by AI?
Yeah. No, so yeah, I think it's I think it really is that when we bring in a tool or something other than the human themselves, and we're getting feedback from that. Clients are, I believe, looking for that confidence and the accuracy of what that tool is telling them. And what we're doing is we're bringing that AI framework in. We're bringing it alongside those experts in the industry. We're applying that expertise and basically reassuring and the client that not only is it going to uncover the whole picture of all of your recordings, but it's also going to help us to identify specific pieces of that. Keeping the expert in the process, I think, is where the confidence lies in giving that client the assurance that whatever the AI is telling us, we're backing it up, we're validating it, and we're applying our expertise to direct what it's telling us to really help the agent, and create that relationship, indirect as it is, between the monitoring agent or the monitoring specialist and the agent themselves. So, where AI is lacking in the specific healthcare industry, that's where our analysts and our specialists are coming in and really training that system in a sense and interpreting what it's telling us.
That's great. Yeah, it's so nice to have your expertise on board. And thanks for spending a little time today and sharing some of your expertise. And we're looking forward to really continuing to increase the value that we're adding to our clients with our AI tool, Discover. So
yeah,
thank you, Chris.
Place to be. Yeah.